Next we will discuss about Navigator Object. Navigator Object is used to access the client browser details, like which browser client is using, what is the version of browser, and what are the plugins supported by browser. All those we can get by using Navigator Object. We will see an example how to work with Navigator Object in our JavaScript. Just go to Visual Studio Code, create a new file, JavaScript d8 d8.html doc type html. Inside we have head section and we have body section. Inside body we will use div tag. For this div tag I will use align, center. I will use input type as button, value I will give as get browser details. Here I will use onClick event. After writing function I will call from this onClick event. After this div tag I will use br line break. After this I will use one more div tag. Inside this I will use data list. Inside this data term browser family, data definition. For this I will give id as family. I will use one more data term. Inside this I will use browser language, data definition. I will give id as lang. Then I will use one more data term. This is for cookie enabled or not. Data definition. For this I will give id as cookie, data term I will write supported on. Data definition. For this I will give id as agent. Next I will use one more data term. This is for plugin supported, data definition I will use id as plug. Next I will use one more data term. Can user view PDF document? For this I will give data definition. id I will give as MSG. Here what we are doing is I want to see the details of browser family, like browser language, and cookie is enabled or not, and what are supported on, and I want to see plugin supported. I want to see whether user can view PDF document or not. All these details I want to see. For this I want to send the values dynamically by using IDs. That's the reason I have given IDs for different data definitions. Then go to head section. We will write a script tag. Inside the script, I will write a function get details. Inside this function, I will write document dot get element by id family dot inner html is equal to navigator dot we have app name. Next, document dot get element by id lang dot inner html. I will explain you execution flow of our program after writing my code. Is equal to navigator dot language, then document dot get element by id cookie dot inner html is equal to navigator dot cookie enabled. Next, document dot get element by id. Inside this, we will use agent dot inner html is equal to navigator dot user agent. Next, I will use for loop. In this, where I is equal to 0, I less than navigator dot plugins dot length I plus plus. Inside this for loop, I will write document dot get element by id plug dot inner html plus equal to navigator dot plugins I dot name plus br. Next, where msg is equal to document dot get element by id. Inside this, I will use msg. Next, I will use if condition navigator dot plugins chrome pdf viewer is equal to under undefined. msg dot inner html is equal to No. Then I will write else. Inside else I will use msg dot inner html is equal to yes. What we are doing here is I will call this function from my onClick event. What we are doing here is whenever user clicks on this button button which is having get browser details, whenever user clicks on this button, my onClick event will be raised. Inside my onClick event, I have written get details function. Then control goes to my get details function. Inside this get details function, whatever the data list I am using, browser family, browser language, all this I want to see in my browser itself. That's the reason I am using data definition with some id is equal to family, id is equal to lang. By using this IDs, I want to store the details inside this data definitions. That's the reason by using document.get element by id, inside this family id, I want to store navigator.app name. It will store the name in this family by using .inner HTML. Inner HTML we use for storing the value inside ID. Same thing is going to happen for all this lang, cookie and agent. Then I am using for loop for plugins. Whatever the plugins is available in this browser, that will be stored in this. Then I am using message variable. Here I am using message ID to see whether user can view PDF document or not. For that I am using if condition navigator.plugins Chrome PDF viewer double equal to undefined. Then inside my message variable it should store no. If this if condition returns false, then else condition will be executed as yes. Just save it, Ctrl S, go to browser, di.html, di.html. Whenever I click on get browser details, it is showing me browser family Netscape, and it is showing me browser using language English US, and it is showing me whether cookies is enabled or not. It is enabled as true, that's why it is showing me true. Then it is showing me supported on. It is showing Mozilla, Windows NT, 10.0, Chrome 85.0. All this it is showing my versions in my supported on data definition, and it is showing me plugin supported as Chrome PDF plugin, Chrome PDF viewer, everything whatever the plugin supported by my browser. Then it is showing me whether can user view PDF document or not. It is showing me yes, user can view PDF document. This is how we can work with our Navigator object. Next we will see how to work with history object in our JavaScript. History object provides set of properties and methods that are used to access the client browser history. Whatever the client is searching and whatever the web pages he is seeing, everything we can access it by using history object. We will see an example how to use history object in our JavaScript. We will create a HTML page, new page, d9.html, doc type HTML, inside head section I will use script tag. Inside script tag I will write function, I will write body load. Inside this function I will use if condition, I will use history dot length is greater than 3. Then I will use alert register for more. location dot href is equal to, I will use some HTML page name like a1.html. Then we have else condition. Inside this I will print document.write. You can view max 3 pages for free. And I have to call this function from my body. Onload body load. Just save it. Here we are using history object. First it will show a alert page. It will execute my body load function from my onload event. Then my body load function will be executed. If history.length is greater than 3, then it will show alert box with my HTML page, whatever I am using with location object, location.href. If it is history.length condition is false, then it will execute else condition with you can view max 3 pages for free. We will check whether this is working or not. Just save it. Ctrl S. Our page name is d9.html. Go to browser. d9.html. It is showing me register for more. Whenever I click on OK, it is showing me total number of images in page 1. Whenever I click on OK, my A1 page is coming in my web page. This is how we can work with history object in our JavaScript. Thank you.